Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Pashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम् वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थः प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Namaste everyone, welcome to class. So we're starting off with some Sandhih as we've been doing for a few weeks now. So we're still in Visarga Sandhih. So we're going to be done with Visarga Sandhih today. So today we're going to look at the final Sandhih, which we'll see. And then we will also we also finished masculine gender of the Pratipadika. So now we're going to go to Napumsaka Linga. Okay, so you'll see that both of those things today. So in this verse, I just pulled this is an important verse from Mundaka Upanishad, but I pulled a random verse just so we can see how Sandhih, Visarga Sandhih is all throughout the mantras, all throughout the Gita, so all throughout Mundaka Upanishad, you'll see this. So today also, the verse that we're going to take, you'll see a lot of Visarga Sandhih. But don't pay attention to the Visarga Sandhih. You should be paying attention to the Vedanta aspect. So we see that Shonaka. So I just highlighted some words where you see the Sandhih, right? Just to make it a little easier. We see Shonaka, Shonako, Ha, right? So it used to be Shonaka, and then Ha. Okay. So what is the Sandhih there? We want to think about what is previous to it. We have akara, right? Akara is purva, and hakara is para. And ha, right? So it's ha is a soft consonant. So if we pull up our chart, right, we have akara here, and then we have ha, a soft consonant. So when we have a and a soft consonant, we get o. So that's called Namo Namaha Sandhih. So Shonako Ha. Yeah, Haraprasadji. Yes.
Yeah, but if it is Namo Namaha Sandhih, it should be an akara, not an. Here it is O.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is after the Sandhih is applied.
Right. When Shauniko is Shaunikaha, no, like Krishna Hasati.
Mm-hmm.
It is Krishna Hasati becomes Krishna Hasati. But that is just a A. Here it is O.
Yeah, so same thing. No, it's the same thing as Krishna Hasati. This used to be Shonaka. Shonaka.
I got it.
And Shonaka Ha becomes Shonako.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So that those both there become a O. So just like Krishna Hasati, right? Krishna Ha, we got Akara and Visarga, and Ha, and that becomes Okara. Right? Okay. Then we have Mahashalo Angirasam. Right? So those are two words, but Sandhi are applied. So we have two words, right? We have Mahashalaha and then angirasam. So we have akara and then akara. Akara purva, akara para. So that's the simple shivoham sandhi. Right? A plus a, all, and the visarga, they all become o. And then you see that avagraha here also. Right? So mahashalaha angirasam. At the bottom, you see one more, bhagavo vijñāte. So you have same thing, right? You have visarga preceded by akara and followed by va. So va is a soft consonant, right? So I have a, and then I have va, which is a soft consonant, and we also get this namo namaha sandhi. So it becomes bhagavo vijñāte. So bhagavaha vijñāta becomes bhagavo vijñāte. Okay, so the more important skill than to naming it is to be able to go from what is there in the mantra to what it was without the sandhi, right? Because then you'll be able to understand the cases a little bit easier, etc. Right? If you know it's that aha, so then you can usually say it's like first case, for example. Yeah, go ahead, Prasadji.
Is it okay when I'm chanting to say, is it okay for me to chant kasmin bhagavah vijñāte? Is it okay to chant like that?
You should generally chant with sandhi. So kasminu bhagavo vijñāte. With you don't want to break the sandhi while chanting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The only time we break is, for example, in Gita, right? When we chant the shlokas, every quarter we break in half, right? When we break that quarter, then sometimes there's a sandhi that we have to break there.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes there, but yeah, usually want to chant with the sandhi. So, okay. All right. Let's chant our Maheshwara Sutra. Om A I Un Rilik E Ong I Ouch Haya Varatha Lan Nyama Garnanam Jabhanya Ghadadash Jabagadash Kapha Chatata Chatatav Kapai Sharshasar Hal Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani. Okay, this is our Maheshwara Sutra. What we're going to do now is we're going to do our last visarga. So you could open your visarga, the Sandhi book. You want to actually go to the last section. It's called, I'll show you on the screen here. I'm going to switch screens. 1 second. Okay, so it's Rāmaśca and Namaste Sandhi. So it looks like this at the top, this ach and visarga plus other hard consonants. That's the title there. Page 32 of your book. Page 32 of your book. Yeah. Okay. So first, before we do that, stay on that page. I just want to show you this chart again, just so we know where we're situated, but stay on that page 32, right? We've seen all of this side so far, right? We've seen we've seen all of this and we've seen all of this. So we've seen this whole section already, right? When and meet, when and hush meet, when and all of these meet, when ich and all of these meet, right? We've seen this whole section. We even saw this at the bottom, the exception of saha and eshaha last time. So saha and eshaha, it's an exception to the rule, right? When we have saha plus you do get that, just like shivoham sandhi, you get soham. But when you have that saha and eshaha, for anything else, then it just drops, right? Okay. Now we started looking at this for the last few classes. When you have that visarga, and remember, visarga is always preceded by a vowel. So it can be any vowel, it doesn't matter what vowel, okay? When the visarga is preceded by a vowel, and you have ka or ka, you get jifva muliyaha. And pa, you get upadmaniyaha. Okay, now we're going to look at this section right here, this whole middle section. At one time, we're going to look at all three of those columns there, okay? So this section right here is called Ramascha Sandhi. This is called Namaste Sandhi, okay? But we don't have a name for this one. That's okay. We can come up with it. It says Rāmaśtikate. We can call it Rāmaśtikate Sandhi. Okay. So let's look at Ramascha Sandhi first, right? This first one. Okay. Here, when a visarga, right, is preceded by any vowel, right? It doesn't matter what vowel is preceding it, so we don't even need to look at the left side. We just need to see what's following it. When cha, or sha is following, then the visarga becomes shakara. Okay, so if you can look at the screen for a second, right? This is the alphabet chart. Notice how hard consonants, right, is this right here. But also these sha, sa are hard. Okay, sha, sa are hard. Okay, so this whole first section is hard, and then this right here is hard. So those are our hard consonants. So that's why, but we also want to look at, so when we look at hard consonants, first we want to look at the palatal. So this is palatal. So this is when you put your, all the way in the hard palate in the back of your mouth, the back of your tongue goes to the back of that hard palate, cha, right? Cha. And then we also have sha. Those are the three hard consonants which are palatal, right? Cha, and sha. Okay? So notice why we're doing these in this order, right? You have cha, sha. So when cha or cha follows, you get that shakara. It has to be the S sounding word in that line. Okay? So here we have, right? When cha or cha follows, you get that shakara instead of visarga. So for example, Ramaha charati becomes Ramash charati. Because we have visarga followed by chakara, which is a palatal, right? A palatal hard consonant. Becomes Ramash charati. And then you have this Mahaprana chakara, Ramash chotayati. Okay. Now, right, I also said cha, or sha. So what happens if shakara is following? When it's followed by that shakara, substitution is optional. Okay? So you can have, so you have shantihi, shantihi. It can be shantish, shantihi. But that's optional. So either way, it's okay. Generally, though, when we're chanting, we generally apply this rule. So when we say Sahanavavatu and we say Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Okay, we don't say Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. We apply this rule and we get this shakara. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Because I have that visarga followed by shakara gets replaced by shakara. Right? Because it just has to be the sibilant in this line. Okay, so the sibilant in this line for shakara is shakara. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Let me know if you need me to repeat anything or go a little bit more slowly. So cha, cha, sha, you get that shakaras. So that's what we call Ramascha Sandhih. Because you have Ramaha cha, right? Ramaha cha becomes Ramascha. Ramaha cha becomes Ramascha. So we call it Ramascha Sandhih. Okay, the next part, we want to look at the next type of hard. So let's go back to this alphabet chart, right? So we saw cha cha. Now we see ta ta. This is when your tongue retroflex. So your tongue goes up and touches the top of your mouth. So right, ta ta da da. So the first hard consonants are only ta ta. And the hard consonant here is sha. So ta ta sha. Shanmuksha, right? Shanmukha. So when I have ta or ta following, I'm going to get that shakara. Or when I have that shakara following, I'm going to get shakara, optionally. Okay, so let's look at this, right? When I have ta ta or sha, then I get this shakara. So for example, Ramaha tikate becomes Rāmaśca. Rāmaśca. So the reason why this happens is when you're talking with speed, your tongue will already be in the place of the next letter, right? So Rāmaśca. So then you don't have to move around your mouth too much. It's supposed to be ease of pronunciation, right? So Rāmaśca. Your tongue is already there, right? Number 5, Ramaha Thakuraha becomes Ramasthakuraha, right? Ta. And then this 6 we need to look at, right? Manashashtani. Manaha Shashtani becomes Manashashtani. But remember, when I have that sibilant following, then it's optional. Okay, just this one. So when I have that sa, sha, 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 sa following, then it's optional, just for those 3. Yeah, can I get a thumbs up if we're okay, if this is going okay? All right. Let's go back to our chart. Now we have to look at our last set. Right. Okay, so we've seen this already, what happens when ka follows. We've seen what happens when cha follows. We've seen what happens when ta follows. Now we have to see what happens with ta. We have also seen pa. Right? Let's see ta. So this right here. What happens when tha is following? Then you get sakara. Saraswati sa. Saraswati sakara. Or when sakara is following, then sakara will be optional. Okay? So tha will, when followed by, or when visarga is followed by tha, it becomes sakara. Or when sakara is following, then sakara can come optionally. So we see that here. Right? And the examples will be clear. Ramaha tarati becomes, so we have takara. Takara is dental, right? Dental, it's your tongue comes to your teeth, right? So Rama tarati. Ramaha tarati becomes Ramas tarati. Ramas tarati. Ramaha tudati. Tudati becomes Ramas tudati. And then you get Ramaha sarati becomes Ramas sarati. Ramas sarati. So that one's optional, right? Because you have that sakara following, you have a sibilant, you have the S sounding word following. Okay. So you'll see this a lot where, so yeah, one of the most common examples, shanti, shanti, shanti. That's where you'll see this very, you hear it every day, but you'll also see this throughout. Okay. Sometimes when I pronounce something, you'll notice that I'm pronouncing it with this rule applied. Okay. Nilamaji, go ahead.
So for Ramaha Sarati, so one way you can say is Ramas Sarati, where you choose to use the sa as a substitution. When you choose not to use the sa, would you pronounce the Visarga Ramaha Sarati?
Yes.
Okay.
So then you just pronounce the Visarga fully, Ramaha Sarati.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So meaning you don't apply the rule. It's the rule is optional. So you don't apply the rule. Okay. So we can see some examples, right? Remove the sandhih. I think this is too easy. Yeah, might be too easy, right? So manascha. Does someone want to do a few of them? Okay, so right, manascha becomes, yeah, people are typing in the chat. Okay, manahacha. Number 2, right, same thing. Manaschittam becomes manaha chittam. Okay, notice that we have chakara following, so that becomes shakara in between. Shakara, shivam shakara. Pandavaschaiva or pandavascha becomes pandavaha cha. All right, let's do, I feel like these are more, all right, these are more tricky, okay? So let's just do number 3. Harihi charati. Which shakara should I use? Should I use Shivam shakara, Shanmukh shakara, or Saraswati shakara? You can tell me which word. Shivam, Shanmukh, Saraswati. Yeah, so chakara is a palatal, the same place that Shivam is from, okay? Even if you don't think about it in terms of palatal or whatever, you just remember cha-cha, sha. Might be a little bit easier, okay? Let's go to, so these are all going to be the same then. Let's do number 9. Ramaha tikam. Is it Shivam shakara, Shanmukh shakara, or Saraswati shakara? You can tell me in the chat. Yeah. So tikam, where does your tongue go? Tikam, your tongue goes up. So your tongue should go up for this, right, too. So shanmukh. So Rāmaśtikam. Rāmaśtikam. Okay, that'll be the same. Let's go to number 11. Now, I'm not going to ask you because there's only one left. Ramaha tarati becomes Ramas tarati. Right? Ramas tarati. Saraswati sa. Tento. Okay. Good. All right. So let's, I'm gonna stop sharing this. And I want to just open up our book 1 and just quickly we're going to look at jñāna śabdha. I'm gonna